All of you, hope you guys are great. So in the last video I show you that how you can download the source code and what are the folders and files you will have once you will download the source code. We have provided the complete project code, so you will have the final code, you will have the startup files, you will have the template which we're going to use in this project. So make sure to watch the video. In that I've explained every single thing, which I will link in the I button or the description, so you guys can follow that. And right from this video we're going to utilize the template which I have provided, and we're going to build and connect the smart contract in the project. So this is where we left in the last video. Now you can see this is the client folder, and this is the get, this is the next context, and that we have already written all of these context functions for creating, for fetching all of these things. So this is the listing property, updating property, we have update price, we have buy property, we have review, like, get all properties data, we have product review, all of this function we have written. Okay, so if you have missed this video, make sure to watch, go back to the previous lesson. We have close to 9 video. As per now I'm recording this video, we already published 9 videos, so make sure to follow that one. So this is the context. Now this is the pages, in that we have these 2 pages. So we have this imports, and this is the configuration we have done, and this is the index. So this is the sample code we have written for connecting and testing the create function. So you can see this is the check handle, submit, get, all of these things we have done. So it looks pretty fine. Now if you come back to the public, so right now we don't have anything in the public. If you come back to the style, so we haven't done anything in the style, so it's totally empty. And this is the util folder we have, and in that I told you that you can simply pause the video and you can write down the entire function which we have here. Okay, or you will get this util folders, because we're going to add one more function into this util folders, so you can get it from the complete source code. Okay, once you download it. So that looks pretty fine. This is the day lift, and this is the check if image. So that looks pretty fine, and that's the entire client side. If we come back to the package.json file, so right now we are using all of these packages, we don't need to install any other packages. So this is the client folder. And if I come to the web3 model, so we have already written all the smart contract, and we have done this configuration. So we have already deployed the contract to the Polygon test networks, and this is the configuration we had done. So hope you guys haven't forgot that. And this is the entire smart contract. And the one thing I want to highlight, that once you will get the complete source code, in that you will have an updated smart contract, and you will have the same old smart contract as well, because this smart contract which we have built right now, which you can see right now, it has little bit bugs. So I have fixed that bug in the final code, so make sure to get it from there, and I will show you that how you can do the fixing. Just follow the tutorial. This is the mapping we have, this is the reviews, this is the product, and this is all the function we have written in the contract. So that looks pretty good. Hope you are at the same stage where I am right now. And now what we're going to do is we're going to come back into the package.json file. So what we can do right now, so we have to get into the client folders. So let's cd clients, and we have to start the application to see things are working fine. So you can see localhost 3000, our application is running on that, and you can see here we have, so this is where we left in the last video. So this is the connect wallet and create. And if I come back here, if I simply log out from this, if I connect on this, I will easily able to open MetaMask, and I can simply connect my wallet. Click on unlocks, and I'm connecting with the wallet. If I do the inspect element, so we have already created couple of properties, and that's what you can find here. You can see all of this property we have created, and the contract right now we are using, it has some critical bug. That's why you can see that this is the address is coming 000, and we're going to fix this one. Okay, so just follow along with me. So this is the image, we have simply grab that one and paste here, remove this one and remove this one, hit enter, and this image is also working fine. So every single thing is working fine, whatever we have done. Now let's create a property. So we'll say, hey, you can type whatever you want, and we'll say no. You can type the category, we'll say housing, and we'll give the price to 4. We'll paste the image. So this is the exact image I'm going to take. Or we can do one thing, come here and we can go to the Pixabay, because we can get the free images from there. So we'll type Pixabay, hit enter, click on the very first link, and from here we have to get the image. Click on this, and we have to simply copy the address of the image, come and paste here, and you can see this is the image address we have. Simply grab that one, come back here and paste, and you can type the disk address. That's it. You can see right now we have this much ether, so I will switch my account. So you can see, make sure to check the polygon, and I have to switch to account number 1 because that has a higher MATI coin, so I can make the transaction. So it looks pretty good to me. Now what we can do, click on this submit, and it's going to make the transaction, so we can easily able to create the property. If you can see, MetaMask, click confirm, and the transaction is happening. So we can display the loader as the transaction is happening. Okay, so you can see the transaction went through and we got this receipt. In that you will find all the data about this particular transaction hash to all of these things. If you reload the browser, you can able to find the property we have listed. So earlier we had 3 and right now we will have 4. So just wait, and you can see here we have the 4 arrays, and this is the one we have created, not this one. So you can see this is the price we have given. Let's come to the 2, and you can see this is the housing, no, and the images we have provided. Grab the image, come back here, paste here, remove this, and hit enter, and this is the image we have provided. So things are looking fine, everything is working fine. And let me minimize this one. So in the last video we have got this zip file, so I told you how you can get that. So make sure to get this zip file. So to get it, let me show you how you can get it. Click on this Chrome and come back to the blockchain coder resource section, and here you will find the source code of that complete project. So simply type the project name, so we'll type real estate, and you can filter that and you can able to find the source code. Simply click on this to watch and click on this to get the code. So come and get the code, or you can do from filter here, you can type the recent project and you will have this recent project. So make sure to come and get your source code. Once you get that, you will have this similar zip folder, and in that you will have the 4 folders. So all you have to do is simply unzip this particular one, double click on that, and it's going to unzip. So just wait, it will take a little bit time because this folder is quite huge. And here we have unzipped the folder. Now let me bring it down. If I open this one, and that will have 4 folders. So you will have the final code, you will have the template of this particular project, pure template, then we have the startup files, then we have the final testing which we are doing right now, and then we'll have the final code which will have the updated smart contract. So you will have all of these 4 folders. And if I open this one, in this you will find all the templates we have already built, all the pages we have already designed. All we have to do is simply import all of these pages and add the functions to each one of these. If I come back, if I go to the startup file, if I go to the final testing, in that you will find that we have this. And if I go to the page components, so this is the page component we have, and we need this one, and inside that we will have all of these pages which we have already done the testings. Okay, so if you stuck anywhere, make sure to come and just simply follow the files, the folders which are already provided to you to fix an issue. And this is the starter file, in that you will have all the folder and file structure is already designed. All you have to do is to import the code and you will have the features. So everything is provided to you in this zip folder, all the folders and files. So make sure to come and get it. And now we have to work on this. So we need this public. Inside the public you will have all the images we are using: active, banner, blog, client, collections, connect, contact, icon, JavaScript files, logo, portfolio, profile, all of the things you will find here, all the images. Okay, so things looks pretty fine to me. And here we have the activities, inside that's JavaScript, and we have this vendor, and in that we have written huge amount of JavaScript which you don't need to worry about it, because all of this JavaScript for the animation and sliding functions, open up models, so all of this thing we have used for that. So this is the public folder we have, this is the pages component, so we need these two. So we'll come back here, we're going to minimize it. Now let me bring this down and let me cut this one. Now what I have to do is, here we have the package. So what we can do, so we need this page component, so simply drag and drop here in the client. If I open this one, you will find we have all of these components which we have inside this page component. Okay, after that we need this public folder. So we already have a public folder, so simply drag and drop here, and we have to replace it. So I will simply cancel that one, and first thing I will do is I'm going to delete this one. Okay, it's better to delete this public folder, and we have to simply drag and drop here. So inside this public you will have all the folders and the JavaScripts. You can see this is the image we have for the project, and this is the logo we have. You can add your logo. This is the JavaScript and all of the things we have. So inside the vendor we have all of this JavaScript for this project. So that looks fine. So that's the public folder. Now let's come back to the pages, and right now we have these two pages, so app.js and index.js. But if you come back to this pages, here we have a lot of pages. So we're going to import only those pages which we don't have here. Okay, so you can see this is the page we have called index old, and that's what we're going to call this one as well, because we have to rename this one. So what I will do, I'll come back to the rename section. I will say index old. So we have this index old, and now we have to simply drag and drop all the files. So let's come here and let me rename this one to index old. So we got this one and looks fine. We have written all of this function. Okay, I'm not removing this particular page because you guys can refer back. That's why I'm not removing it. So close this one, and now we have to open up and we have to simply drag and drop each one of these files. So simply select, come back, go to the starter files, go to the client size and go to the pages, and from here we have to simply drag and drop all the files. So what we can do is, so we're not going to import this index old. We'll take this entire one. No, actually we don't need the entire one. So what we can do is, we already have this app.js and index old.js. So I'll simply come here and not bring it down right now. We have to simply close this one, and this is the page we have. So we already have this one. So this is the entire configuration we have done in the app.js. Okay, so you have to keep this as same. So what I will do, I'll simply select this portion, entire one, and I'm simply drag and drop here, and I have to replace. So click on this replace. So it's going to replace our app.js folder, and it's going to do it. So click on replace and replace. So you can see it has all the codes. If you come back to the app.js file, this is how it looks right now, because we haven't done the configuration, because we have replaced the file. So this is what we have, and app.js. So let me do one thing. Let me just uncomment this. Okay, we have to remove all the files. So I simply remove all the file from this pages, and it's empty now. I made a mistake, and that's part of the development, because when you will take the template and when you're going to connect, this kind of mistake you will do. So let's bring the, so this is the files we have right now. We don't have anything in it, and what I can do is come here, go back to the distix, and let me find the folder. So this is the one, real estate source code. I'll click on that, and here I have the starter file. I have this pages component. So I will simply drag and drop, because I have already also deleted the pages component, and simply drag and drop here, and here I have the pages component. And we also need the public one, because I also removed the public. In that we'll have all of these folders, so things are looking fine. So come here, and we have to drag and drop the public folder. So that's the public folder we have, and that we have all of these folders. So we got the page component, we got the public folder, and it looks pretty fine. No breaking changes happen. So this is the banner, BG, blog, client, collections, logos, all of the things we have here. Connect, contact, and we have the JavaScript, and that we have all of this thing. Okay, so we are not missing anything. This is the logo, this is the portfolio, this is the profile we have. So make sure you have to import the exact file which we have imported here right now. And this is the page component. You can see we have all of this, and right now we don't have any piece of code into this action.js. This is the banner, this is the blog, and what we have done is we have simply imported all of the component into this index file. So that looks pretty fine. That looks pretty fine. So you can see we have built the entire architecture. All we have to do is to simply add the code and it will work absolutely fine. So this things looks pretty good to me. Now I'm going to close that one and I'll open this one, come back to the pages. Right now we have these two pages, so I will simply come here and I'm going to copy only those pages. So I need this one, these four, simply drag and drop here. Now we're going to take this one. We're not going to take the index old. We'll simply drag and drop here. And let me bring this back, and we have this. We're not going to take that. We'll take this indexed, and we have all of this. We'll simply grab all of this and drag and drop here. And we have this. We're not going to take this app.js and drag and drop here. So right now we have all the files, and we're not going to take this index old. So these are the two files we are not importing, but we are importing others. So we have done all of these files. You can see right now we don't have anything in this app.js. We have this configuration, okay, and this is all the files which are empty, and the actual code we're going to write in each one of these pages. We're going to simply import the components and we're going to add the functionality. You can see all of these pages are empty, and this is the old one. I'll keep it like it so you guys can come and refer to that. So everything is empty right now. We have done all the setups, and right now you can start working and coding the template as per your choice, but we're going to import all the codes which we already have. So you can see we have all of this. We have 3 pages. That looks pretty fine. We don't need to do anything in here. And if we come here, so we need a couple of more things. So if you come back, let me expand this one, and if I go to this, if I simply open up the terminal and let me check things are working or not. So what I will do, I will simply type cd and I will go into the clients and I will check that things are working and fine or not, because we have done some major changes. So the application is running on local 3000, and I'm going to open the applications. Simply come up here and reload the browser. You can see things are working absolutely fine. We have no more error in our code, so it's already looking good. Now we'll come back here. We'll go back to the pages, and here we have the index. So let's double confirm it. Yes, this is what we have. We can simply come here and we can say dab and save it, and we have dab. So things are looking pretty fine. So that's working good. Now the thing we have to do is close this one, come up here and bring this down, and we have this style folder. So we're not going to write a single piece of styling because we already have the styling. All we have to do is to import that folder. So what I will do, I will simply come here, minimize my VS Code, and if I come back to the code, so this is the folder in that we have, and this is the starter file. Go into that and go into the client, and here you will have the folder called style, and this is the one we're going to simply drag and drop because it has all the setups. So first thing, we have to delete this one. Let's come here, move to the trash, and we don't have that one. And now we're going to simply drag and drop into this. Simply drag and drop in client main directory. If I come here, and here we have the utils, so I have add one more function into this utils, so I will simply take that as well. So I will come here and I will going to simply remove this one, and I'm going to simply drag and drop here. So in that we have all of these functions. So you can see this is the day left function we have, and this is the one more function I have attached into this, and this will calculate that how many users will have, and it will give the amount of the property they have listed in the marketplace. All of this function we have written, so you will get that in the utils files, so you can make sure to get it from there. So that looks pretty fine. So this is the day count, this is the image check, and this is the top creators. okay, and their worth. So make sure to pause if you want to type it, or you can get it from the utils file. So that looks also good to me. Now I'm going to simply close that one. What I will do now, I'll come back to the style folder, and in that we have all the CSS files and the assets. So if you click on this assets folder, inside that you will have this folder: CSS, fonts, image, JS, JavaScript, map. So if you open this CSS file, in that folder, CSS folder, in that folder you will have two folders. So you will have the plugins, you will have the vendors, and you will have the style.css. If you open that, we will have some features, stylings. This is the font, this is the images. So the same images we have provided here are the same images we are providing in the public section, because in Next.js, if you want to display any static data, that's you have to transfer from the public folder. Okay, so here we have the entire JavaScript, and here we have the mapping, and here we have the global CSS. So what we have done, we have simply imported all the CSS into this global folder and global file, and from here we are exporting that CSS. So you can see all of the file we have imported here in the global.css. So if you come back to the assets, inside that assets you will have, you can see we are in the main directory, and we have this asset folder. Then we are getting into the CSS folder. Inside that we have plugin, and then we have the features and all the files we are importing here. So you don't need to do anything. All you have to do is to simply copy and paste the folder, and it has all the setups. And if you want to do the custom settings on the color side, you can do here in the style.css. You can see all of the custom styling, the color we have defined here. So you can simply make the changes. It's pretty huge. So we have close to 27,000 line of CSS. 27, that's a pretty huge amount of CSS is there. So close this one, and this is the asset. So we have the styling. Now come back to the public, and we have all the images, and this is the JavaScript, the same JavaScript we are keeping it here. So that looks good. And if I open up the terminal, everything's working fine, and these are the pages we have. Let me check one more time, and this is what we have. Save it. Okay, nothing wrong in this. And you can see we have the color is already applied, and we have this dark screen background. So the styling is also working fine, the font size is also working fine, and the reset is also working fine. Now what we have to do is we're going to start writing the code right here. But before we do that, I'm not going to code the entire template. So now what we can do is we're going to simply remove this particular folder. I know you guys are confused at why I'm importing and why I'm removing, because I'm showing you the possible ways in which you can do the setups if you want to add custom styling, or if you want to import the pre-built component. Okay, so this is the entire folder we have, and in which we don't have any code. So all of these components are empty. We have imported this, but these components are empty, and we don't want it to be empty. We want to just import the components so we can start working on the functionality. Okay, so I will simply come here, and let me have a look. So this looks fine. This is also looking fine. Collection section we have, and public, let me look, that's good. That's the utils we have, and that's the style we have, and that looks good. Now I'm going to minimize that one, and this time what I will do, I will come back here. I'll go back to the source code folder, and in that I will go to this is the starter file we have, and this is the template, and this is what we're going to import it. Okay, this is what we're going to import it. So what I will do now, so we have all of these components which has code in it. So the very first thing I want to do is so this is the folder we have, about page, and in that we have all of these files, the same structure we have here in this will. And let me find out. So this is the one we have, and if I open this one in the VS Code, you can see this is the exact setup I have done in the template section as well. So this looks good. Close this one, and this is the folder we have. And if you come here, I'm going to simply delete this entire folder, because we're going to import the component. So let's create a folder by the name page component. So the same name we have given, make sure to give the same name. And now we have to simply drag and drop all of these folders, all of this component. So select all of this. So we have all of this, simply select and drag and drop here. And let's come here, simply select this one. You can see we have all of this one. Simply copy and drag and drop here. Now we have to select these pages, these component, come and drag and drop here. Now we have these two more, so actually we have more, so simply select this two, privacy page and product page. Simply drag, select and drag and drop here. And we have more, so we'll drag and drop this upcoming, and we'll drag and drop this sign up pages, and that looks good. And we have this ranking, and that looks good. So we have all of these components and the code is there. So I think we have imported all of these pages. There's nothing left. So let's have a look. Let's close this one, and this is the folders, this is the component we have. And if you click on that, you can see we have all of this code is already written. All we have to do is to feed the data. All of this component is already built. If I start coding this template from scratch, it will take close to 2 months, because you can see how big this particular UI part is. And I want to show you the core functionality. That's why I decided to just take the templates and add the functionality into that. And this is the page in which we're going to work together. Okay, right now we don't have anything into the pages. You can see it's absolutely empty. So this is the absolutely empty page we have, nothing in there, and we're going to simply work on it. So let me come here, and what I will do, I'll simply minimize this one, and let me come here. So things are looking fine. I will simply make it big, and now we're going to start working on the pages. So you can see this is the exact configuration you have to do in the app.js file. Okay, now this is the exact setup we have to do, and here we have to do couple of things. So you can see we have imported the React, we have the global CSS, and we have the chain ID and ThirdWeb and all of these things. Now we'll come back to the styling, and from here we are getting this. You can see this is the one which we are importing in the pages here. Then we have the ThirdWeb, which we have already done it. We have to configure our store and the context with the network. So everything is looking fine. And this one is really very important, that you have to know each one of these things to make things work. Now we have to wrap this. So simply bring it down here, cut this portion and bring it here. And now what we're going to do is simply come here. Let me expand this one. Click on this. And inside that, we'll go back to the public folder, and in that we have this JavaScript files. So we have to import all the JavaScript files which we are using in this project. You can see the list is quite huge, and we're going to simply import all of this JavaScript file. So what I will do, I'll simply come up here, and this is the place where I'm going to import. So you have two options. You can use the script tab, but I'm going with the normal script. Okay, so let me give this comment to JavaScript, and let me comment this one, and let me import that one. So we'll type JavaScript, and we have to define the source, and it's coming from the public folder. So we don't need to provide the public folder name. We have to give the slash, and that will denote that it's coming from the public folder. Inside the public folder we have this JS folder. If I come here in this JS, and inside the JS we have this vendor. We'll say vendor, and in that we have this all the files. So if I open this one, we have all of these files, and we have to import all of these files. So let's import the very first one. I'll call it jQuery. So we'll say jQuery.js. okay, so this is how you can import all the file one by one, but I'm going to simply copy and paste because we have already have all the imports. So I will simply minimize that one. So come here, and if I come back here, let me go to the final code client, and inside the client you will have this call components, not the component. I have to go into the pages, and inside the pages we have this file app.js. Open in the VS Code, and here you can see we have already imported all the files. We have imported. Simply select all the files till here, copy that one. Okay, make sure to copy the entire JS file, and Here we are, simply close this one, and here we're going to simply replace and paste it. So we have all of this JavaScript, and actually we don't need this 3-1 because these are the customs hooks, custom JavaScript for interacting with the smart contract, but we are not using the custom hook, we are using ThirdWeb. So I'll simply uncomment this one, simply comment this one, and that looks pretty fine. These are the things we have to do here in the app.js. So things are good here. Simply close this one, and let me now, what we can do, reload the browser and see things are looking absolutely fine. We have no issues in it. Close this one, and now we can come back in VS Code and we can start working on it. So we have to go back into the index details, and here we're going to start working on the code. That's the only thing I want to talk about in this video. Hope you guys have got the idea that how you have to do the configuration, how you have to do the setups. So I don't want to extend this video because this video is already more than 20 minutes, and I want you guys to understand that what we have done and how we have simply configured our entire template. And that's exactly what happened in the real world project, because you're going to work on the smart contract, you're going to work on the backend part, or you're going to work on the UI sections. So you're going to build the functionality, and then everything will come together, and all you have to do is to connect and arrange that. So right now we have done very vital setups. I hope you guys have done the exact thing which I have done. If you still have any error, any issues, the codes are provided to you. Make sure to just have a look and try to understand. Okay, so that's the only thing I want to talk about in this video. In the next video, we're going to start working on our index page for the very first page.